We're back. First one in quite a while. We planned to record this some weeks ago, but I went off the map for a bit, and the guys kindly agreed to rearrange this one. Thank you, guys. We're back. This is the nominate and renominate, and this is the full stop on all of this. We're supposed to have Hal, and along the way we've lost Hal, but we've got Sharath. Give us say hello, mate. How you doing?
Hello. What's going on? This is my new way of saying hello without shaking hands. Good old namaste, even in virtual phone calls. It's a sign of respect.
I noticed the footballers were doing that yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, some people go really hard with it. I'm like, ow, that's my elbow, bro. Relax. You don't got to do that. So, to avoid all that, you can just be like, hello. And then, we can stay with that.
Like, yeah, all that makes sense. Yep.
And Tom Milner here in the UK. Nice to have someone on our time zone.
Hey, guys. Although I'm pretty much on Las Vegas time zone all the time, so I've only actually been up for a couple of hours so far.
Oh, wow! Right then, we're going to begin because this is the end of the road of this. The sort of meeting new friends thing was supposed to take us up to Infocom, but we missed that by a week. My fault. Sorry about that. So we're going to sort of finish with just a traditional AV jam, and about AV helping people back to work. Everyone's at home. Everyone's using devices. I've seen a lot of news coming out of Crestron, Sharath. You guys got any views? Are you pivoting portfolio or anything like that to encourage bigger devices in the home or anything?
We kind of pivoted using our residential product to include Zoom in itself. But starting COVID, we had the Mercury product. And then since I demo all that stuff, I had it in my house. My wife is in fashion. And since she's in fashion, she also was doing conference calls with her laptop. And it was crappy audio and video. So, to stop her from complaining to me and asking me to do something, I just gave her my Mercury. And I was like, here, it's a microphone, a speakerphone. You just plug in USB and you're good to go. And she's like, what do I have to do? I'm like, nothing. Just start your call. Your computer recognizes it. And you just listen to that thing and the mic is there. She's like, okay. And now she loves it, right? So I don't think people understood that what you're using in a conference room, you can actually use at home. So I was touting the use of that ever since COVID even started. And then now we released a product that incorporates Zoom and a residential product, Crestron Home, where Zoom is like a source on your remote control and you pick it and your camera's there and that gets incorporated. But I think if you use anything that you mostly would use in a conference room and just put it in the in-house office, it's just as good. I think people just never thought about that, right? It's a new thinking, it's a new way. And then along with that, it forced a lot of our product management and engineering and everybody just to restart thinking, what can we do now? Like, there's, what we normally do is different. What can we add to our portfolio? Do we need to make something new? Because, we're really good at making new stuff a lot because we have a lot of stuff. And then because of that, we've come out with a lot of things that we're going to be introducing before the end of this year as well. One is incorporating with our touch panels. We're going to add some new things in terms of products of, checking in for cleaning, checking out for cleaning. Because as I mentioned before, it's all about behavior. So we got a lot of stuff coming down the line. And then we got a couple of things that'll come out before the end of this year as well, where we pivoted into new product sets.
Yeah, checking in for cleaning. Tom, you mentioned that before we started recording about the, are people going to clean this stuff? We're going to ask our normal office cleaners to take responsibility for the tech now because they don't touch tech because they're frightened to break it, right?
Yeah, that seems to be the biggest problem at the moment. That before anyone can clean, there really needs to be some education about how to clean. It's not like it's rocket science. It's not like nobody can do it unless you're a specialist. That's not the case at all. Generally, whenever we're training any of our new operatives, it takes us about an hour and a half in total to train them on everything that we do. So it's a very, very simple thing, but it's not just about the cleaning. It's the visibility. It's, for customers and staff to actually want to come back into an environment that they may not actually trust. They actually need to see people doing the right thing to protect them. So, is it a cleaner only job? No, I think it's everyone should be taking their own responsibility for this.
Yeah. And I think I tweeted that once this all started, where I was like, if I'm at my desk and I'm cleaning down my workstation with a Clorox wipe every day, then that should make you, as this person sitting next to my cubicle, do the same thing. And then if I see everyone doing the same thing, then we all kind of get a sense of everything's clean and everyone has new habits to clean their area. Because in my mind, even though Crestron has a cleaning company that does the cleaning at the end of the day, I think it's also part of the person to do a little bit more than they usually would do so that they can get ahead of it, right?
That was the one thing I was saying to these guys earlier, and it's something I could proper just go off on one because it winds me up ever so slightly. It's since COVID, how has a pandemic taken away people's ability to think and be an adult? I don't get that. I understand that businesses have a duty of care. 100%, everybody has a duty of care. But at the same, surely you can walk into a situation and think either A, I don't want to be here, or B, I'm happy to be here, but I'm also going to use my own sanitizer. I'm going to make sure that I'm not just going to walk around licking door handles or whatever it be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People have the knowledge to say, either I'm not happy touching that interactive, be it a touch panel or a screen or whatever, I'm going to use my own stylus. Or I'm happy to, but I'm going to make sure that I sanitize my hands before I go. Where's people's ability to think just disappeared to? And that's what's kind of getting right up my nose.
You're kind of assuming that a lot of people have the ability to think.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people need to be told how to think. Yeah.
Not a jab at anyone, but if people are, but if people are out there licking door handles, we got a bigger problem here.
Let's not get talking about window lickers either. It's, but the lowest common denominator of our race, unfortunately, is that there are some selfish people out there who only care about themselves and they don't care about other people. So while it is each of our own duty of care to look after ourselves and look after our fellow man, actually, when you're talking about retailers or corporates or whatever, they've got a duty of care as well. And we like to think, whether or not this is a well subscribed to thought, but we like to think that actually if everyone takes their own small part of a responsibility, actually we'll all be a lot better off. I mean, everyone saw the reports last year about the fecal matter that was present on touchscreens in McDonald's. Why were they just testing the touchscreens? The touchscreens were probably the least contaminated in that store. You go to the door handle, you go to the sink tops, you go to the actual tabletops where you eat from. They're disgusting.
Oh, no more. Stop.
And what's worse is, the products that these companies use, if the cleaner or staff member that is actually, delegated cleaning that day, they're not given any formal training on how to use those products. So what do? They absolutely spray the hell out of that product onto the surface. And, depending on what chemicals it's got in it, it could bring on asthma attacks, just make it difficult for people to breathe. And I don't want to go into those environments. I mean, we had that happen to us in a restaurant before COVID set in. And we literally had to ask to move to another table because the server had actually sprayed so much fluid onto the table. So
then cleaned it with a dirty dishcloth from yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
I think it should all. I think we need to take the cleaning mentality of cooks in kitchens. Because
that's not necessarily the best idea either. Because
I was going to say,
some cooks are absolutely disgusting.
Because when I was in,
will walk around with a cloth over their shoulder.
Yeah,
and they'll be using that all day.
I thought they had high standards. Yeah, I thought they always had high standards because when I was in high school, we had this. I went to a tech high school, so we had to do rotations of different things, and one of the rotations was culinary. And then I remember the teacher or the cook used to tell me, like she was so adamant about wiping down everything. I remember I sneezed in my hand. She's like, "Nope, get the hell out of here. Go wash your hands, come back." And then she's like, "You need to learn how to sneeze like this on your shoulder, or do something like that. But you never sneeze forward or on your hands." And then I just remember that moment. I was like, "Oh my God, I never want to be a cook. There's so much cleaning. This is crazy." But they go through so much. Like, she uses a spoon, tastes it, and throws it out. When I'm cooking at home, I use a spoon. Oh, that tastes good. Use the same spoon again, and then but I think if the technology world can start reviewing cleaning procedures from other, I guess, industries, maybe we can start looking into how to merge that, right? Because in my mind, I think even with technology, everyone is looking for a company with one answer, but there's never really one solution.
See, I do agree, but there's only so far you can go. If you think of a business with a duty of care or a manufacturer, and you're trying to give these products and you're trying to educate people on it, the one common denominator is the people. That person has to actually sit up and listen and do it. How many people are just going to go back to, as Tom said earlier, there's some selfish people in that respect. We're just going to go back to, I can get back in the office, carry on, BAU, nothing's changed. We've had a couple of months off, everything went a bit tits up, but now we're back in and as you were. And that is going to be a massive number. I mean, I'm already seeing it. We're doing, for ongoing business that we're doing now, I've still got designs that I'm going out where people are just, as you were, touch panels, touch screens, buying them like sweets. No one's taking any difference because the people that I'm talking to about it are they're frontline workers. So the mentality that they've got is, well, I've been tested, I've got the all clear, carry on, because it's easier and cheaper for them just to be tested, make sure it's negative, and nothing changes. I've got a family member who tested positive, had to self-isolate. The people that she'd been close to, so family and other family members, they've got to self-isolate for 2 weeks. She then had another test 5 days later, come back negative. She's back in work after 6 days, but the rest of them have got to self-isolate because frontline is a case of tested, done, negative, get back in, carry on as you were, don't change. And there's going to be a lot of people that just want to get back in and don't change.
But the other common denominator, Kev, is, and let's end on a point of view between us all. I bet we don't agree. The other common denominator is the thing you touch. And there's a touch device in every meeting room. Is technology going to develop away from having a touch panel in every room? Are touch panels here to stay or not, is the question.
Touch panels aren't going anywhere.
They're not going
anywhere. I completely agree. Yeah, they're not. People are too used to touch now. Voice doesn't work well enough. And that's it. I was presented with touch in Tesco's last week. Through all of you can only go up and down here. You can't go that way, sir. You've got to go this way to come to pay a touch till. And so the first thought I've got is, well, am I touching this? Of course I'm touching it. So you just carry on, right? Because it's a quick means to an end. What I didn't do is touch it and then stick my finger in my mouth. Right? So there's a little bit of thought that goes on about the side of it. So I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, even if we look at what other technologies there are currently, let's say using Alexa in a room for meetings, it's so cumbersome. It's also teaching people how to use it, right? Like, oh, what phrase do I say? What do I say again? And in the middle of the meeting, you're just like, Alexa, mute, and then it doesn't mute, or Alexa, volume up, volume down, and then you're like, who are you talking to? And they're like, I'm talking to Alexa, and then the whole conversation is just like, Alexa's not in the room, and then no one notices there's voice in the room. They're like, who's Alexa? Alexa's not here, and then it just throws the whole conversation away. So I think using voice.
It's touch panel. People are going to go in, like you said, people are confident, they're happy to use the touch panel. In more complex rooms, in simpler rooms, there is an argument that you could just have a proximity sensor that wakes everything up and goes. But let's be honest, the touch panel, you walk in, you press start and you go. What gets touched more times in that room over the touch panel? The light switch. The HDMI cable that people want to plug in that they start passing about, the chair that you're sitting on, the table that you're leaning against. The touch panel gets touched probably 10% of the time as everything else. Why does that get a bad run when you've got so much other stuff. That
You know why? You know why he gets a bad run? Because of what Tom just said. He's getting a bad run because what Tom just said about the nightmare story coming out of McDonald's last year.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's seen that and fearing the worst.
Yeah. And then, people ask me, when COVID started, Sharath, what touchless technology does Crestron have? I'm like, put in an air media and a wireless sensor. What that does is you can use your personal device to present wirelessly. You can use the sensor to turn your lights on, turn the display on, and once the meeting's over, turn the display off, turn the lights off, turn the HVAC to whatever. And then the person comes in the room, and the only thing they touch was their personal device, right? And that's about 60% of meeting spaces, these small cubic, like huddle spaces where they present and leave. You don't even touch an HDMI cable. And they're like, oh yeah. Well, how come you never mentioned this, bro? I mentioned this like every meeting. I don't, like, even before COVID, I was talking about this. They're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I should start looking into it." Oh yeah, you should.
There's another problem here, though, guys. That the simple thing is, whether it's a video conferencing suite, huddle room or whatever, or even a touch screen in the store. Yeah, the simple thing is, the companies that have invested in this equipment, why are they going to want to invest again when actually they can actually just invest in the thing that they should have been doing all the time, which is proper cleaning? Mm-hmm. It's that simple. But the difficulty is that you've got janitorial companies, facility management companies that are actually going in and telling their customers how they should clean our stuff, and that's what's going to cause problems down the line. They're not happening now because none of us have really gone back yet. But when we start to go back and when products start getting destroyed, people are going to start sitting up and saying, "What the hell?" Because they're not being educated. So we offer quite freely the opportunity to just chat with us about what we recommend about each type of device or environment that you've got. So we don't just do screens. We'll do any hard non-porous surface with our main product, but we'll also do any surface at all now with our fogging product. But the thing that we need to bear in mind is that this isn't going to last forever, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't actually have good cleaning habits.
Yeah, totally agreed.
That's a great place to end, guys. Thanks for joining us. That's the end. We don't need to go and recommend anyone else. We did it properly. The last one, we just recorded and did nothing. That was... I don't know why we did that, but I'd like to think that was a productive few minutes spent together there, guys. Really appreciate your time. Hope to see you in real life at a show, a big global show at some point in the very near future, because I'm bored here.
Oh yeah, who you telling? And then I'll give you guys a quick heads up. My time at Crestron's coming to an end in about 2 weeks.
Oh,
so I'm going to an integrator. I'm not going to say who just yet, but I figured Flash.
No way!
Wow. Flash
Can we
news.
drop that now? It's like spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you want. It's just I've just been with Crestron for so long, and I really want to learn more about the industry and everything that incorporates, because my first job out of college, I stayed for a year and then came to Crestron and been there for the whole time. And then
it's
I'm
way
like,
more exciting at integrator level than vendor level.
Yeah, it is.
Who knows? I might crash and burn, but I figured if I ever want to be a CEO or CTO, I need to kind of leave this world and see what else skills I can gain and do whatever I can. So at this time I have no kids that I'm capable of taking care of. So I was like, if I leave my job and I get fired, it's not going to be that bad. So we'll see how it goes. I figured I'd just start telling everybody. Thank you, appreciate it.
Wishing you all the luck for that. We're going to have to make sure that everybody who watches and listens to this gets to the end for your little bombshell there.
I know. I think people are more concerned about chutney. They're like, chutney's still Crestron though, right? I was like, yeah.
That's brilliant. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.
Take it easy.